I'm going to go ahead and replace the regulator, fuel regulator, which is under here. This is a whole throttle body here. This is a pressure regulator on a Model 300 Rochester. It's similar to the ones on other GM throttle bodies. This is the old diaphragm that I took out, and I just put it in here. And before I start this, I just want to show here that it says it springs under pressure here. When you take the old one apart, what you want to do is, this is a Torx 15. You want to just have this thing angle a little bit away from you. I can hold this down with my hand with a lot of thumb pressure, but it could come up and hit you in the teeth or something like that, face. But it's not under massive pressure. But that's just the discourse you got to give before you do something like this. Kind of hold off a different angle, undo this, you can pull it right off. It's got a spring in it. This is a Rochester 300 used in a lot of GM products from late 70s to the mid 80s. I'm going to go ahead and replace the regulator, fuel regulator, which is under here. This is a whole throttle body here. It's a throttle position sensor. There's the injector. There's idle air control motor. This is the regulator that on my particular model regulates after the injector to about 12 pounds per square inch. And it has a diaphragm like this in here. And this one I've taken apart already. But the diaphragm, here's a new one, has a little piece here that is can move around to self-center, and that pushes here on the bore, seals on here, and the spring here pushes on this, determines the pressure. And at the factory they've already screwed this in and adjusted it and locked it down, so you don't ever adjust this normally. So this is out of a new rebuild kit, and these screws came with it, which are guide screws just to help you put it on because it's a real long spring. These 4 screws are Torx 15 is what they are. Okay, I'm going to attempt to go ahead and put this together. This is a diagram here showing the spring cover, spring, there's the diaphragm, here's the bolts. This is what they call the fuel meter cover, and I've gone through and cleaned this up with denatured alcohol, and that was in here. I soaked it for a while, about a day or two actually, and then rubbed it all off, got it clean. So of course this goes on like this. This can only go on one way because this little earpiece will touch that, so it's got to go on like this. Put the spring in. Spring is ground on both sides, so it doesn't make any difference. This pushes on here. I take one of these long screws to see if I can tighten that up. There you go. Got my hand in the way. These actually came with the carburetor kit, the throttle body rebuild kit. This actually got like 2 layers on there. This one I've popped apart to show the pivot piece. I was just kind of interested in how it was built, but it's got actually 2 different layers on the diaphragm. Now, those holes are through holes, so I guess this can be pushed all the way down. I'm just going to do that by hand. And they tell you to take this apart just to be careful because it'll fly out and hit you. The force is not super strong, but you may hit yourself in the face. Doesn't really look the prettiest as it could be. I guess that's the only way it can go on. So, I'll go ahead and tighten this down. This is just a little cheap set from Walmart, actually. I think it was $9. And once those are done, you take these out. Now you could probably get it on there without those. It just makes the job easier. I have no idea if that comes with all the kits. Now this is the regulator on a Model 300. It's the same as pretty much all the other regulators. There's one on a Crossfire that has one that's like this. There's two different ones. One is a regulator and one is like an equalizer gizmo. Slightly different. Then when this goes on over here, there's a gasket that goes on here. There's another one that goes on here. It looks like a figure 8. This goes on here like this. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These three are longer than these two. And the injector has got a smaller O-ring, a large a metal washer, and then a large O-ring to go on there. I'm not sure what the order of the two, which the way they go, but there's 3 pieces that go in before you push the injector in there. Okay, we're going to try to put the fuel injector back in the throttle body. It's a brand new injector. This is the filter, generally comes with it. Sometimes it comes with the rebuild kit. This is the backup little washer it goes on. And when this goes in here, there's a feature here, so when it drops in the bore, it tends to, here at the 7 o'clock position, it's going to be like right here. So what I'm going to remember is the number of the item goes first, front, at least on this one. Then there's a washer that goes on here, called a backup washer, goes in first. Then you have the O-ring, the large O-ring. So the large O-ring is here. One of the places says to use transmission fluid to lubricate it. Another one says to use Vaseline or something. I just put just a dab of some transmission fluid in it. So I'm going to push this down. So this is the small O-ring. That's the large O-ring on top of the backup washer. And I'm going to attempt to see. You got to force that down in the bore. Man, I don't know if I can get that down in there. I'm going to go like that. Now that's got to go like that. I felt it click in place. Once it's in there, it'll only rotate just a little bit. Okay, there it is. Now, there's a seal in here I got to put in, which is just a little foam seal. Oops. It's just a little hokey thing. It fits in there like this. That is actually open to the outside. The regulator kind of just goes down in there. This one goes on top of here. That one goes on there. And it'll probably go on either way. Make sure I don't drop that down in the side. This is going to go down in that hole. And maybe I can stick this on here first. Maybe that would be better. Make sure I don't drop it down in there. Now, these 3 screws are longer than the front 2. Okay, these three screws here are longer than ones in the front. I'm going to put one in here just to get it to start. This is a short one. That's a short one. These 2 long. They're all the same thread. Okay, I'm going to restart the camera. I had a hard time getting this guy to start, so I've gone through and pulled this off and got the donut piece here going through here. And I'm going to go ahead and stick him on first. I didn't want to go through. So that's going through the gasket now. So I put this guy through first. Here's a long one. Long one. And the 2 short ones. Gotta make sure they go through the gaskets. And again, this one wasn't going through. That's why I went back. It's all under pressure, so you don't want to force anything and booger up a gasket. I'm going to go look up the torque figures in a minute. I'm just going to finger tight these down. It's 3 Newton meters, and all I've got is this little beam balance. Okay, those screws are for the cover These 5 are supposed to be torqued up to 28 inch-pounds. This is a inch-pound wrench that goes 0 to 200. It's about the best one I've got. It's kind of between the ranges. And it's a little 1/4 inch one. There's about 20. There's about 20. About 20. 20. It'll give you really the pattern set up. It's at 25. There's about 28. It's about 28. A little bit more than I thought it would be. So if you go any more, it's going to strip out. Okay, there they are, 28 inch-pounds. This is the injector. Hooks up. There's a piece missing on there. It's like a foam piece that goes on here that just kind of fell apart. But that goes on there like that. Squeezed together like this. This grips that feature of the injector. I don't know if it goes on better like that. Look at this. It's labeled AB. Take this apart, of course, you squeeze this together. I'll show that again. It's like this. This squeezes. Got this on here so nothing drops down in there. That's what that's for. The paper. Okay, this video I'm showing how I replaced the diaphragm on this. This is spring loaded, so when you undo this you have to make sure this isn't going to fly off and hit you in the face. I just give you a warning here. Pressure regulator cover, large spring under tension could cause personal injury.